Welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Davston. Great to have you with us. Right, so this is our weekly overview, our first one for June. If you have not yet done so, go and have a look at our monthly overview for June to give us context of this massive month of June that we're in and the huge opportunity we have to really accelerate our flow. Right, so let's get into it. Last week, we had 51 shock, sudden shake-up, sudden movements, being shaken out of the bog because of unexpected events coming, lightning bolts, thunder, boom, 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 all around us. And how did that go for you? I don't know how many people I spoke to had electrical problems, appliance issues, computer issues. We also had an electrical problem in our house. I'm like, 51 shock, yes, thunderbolts and lightning, literally electrical issues. So how did that go? What was the thing that shook you out of the bog, out of stuckness, and got you moving forward? Very exciting. Okay, so this week, the first week of June, the 1st of June, 2020, let's have a look at our I Ching focus for the week. And our first hexagram we have is hexagram 63, after completion. So 63 and 64 are a pair. They talk about before completion and after completion, talking about crossing this great river to completing a great cycle of change. 64 being the total set of hexagrams in the set. And here we have 63 already crossing, okay, after completion. And this tells a story of not standing at the river about to cross the last challenge or the last phase of growth before we reach the end of the cycle, but that we're already halfway through the river. So you can imagine you're standing on a river and you're already crossing. So the process that you're in is already completing. So with 64, we're standing on the side of the river trying to complete this process of change. Here we are in the middle of the river. We are in the process. We're already crossing. We are already completing. We're in a process of having reached fullness and completion. So what is going to be an opportunity this week is to recognize that something has finished. A big cycle in your personal life, in your business life has finished. This might be a project. It might be a relationship, as painful as it is, or it's a particular thing you've been doing. It's a report you're writing. Whatever this is, it's saying to us the process has finished. Whatever the challenge is, whatever the growth process, it is finished. We might be finishing the finish, which is what this is talking about, finishing the finish, but we are crossing already. It's already happening. And when we've had this hexagram before, I've spoken about this idea called the liminal space. Beautiful concept. And the liminal space is when one thing finishes and the next thing has not yet started, there's this little gap between them, where we are kind of suspended. In a way, it's like how we feel right now, where our old world is finished and our new world hasn't begun and we're not yet sure what the new world is. We're in this suspension, liquid as it were, between these two worlds. And this is the idea I want to share with you about 63, about this focus for the week, that we have already completed something. We're completing the completing. And so when we're on this liminal space, this is not where we try and do big things, because you're almost suspended mid-air. Like when you're on a roller coaster and you go round, you get to this point and you're upside down, but you're kind of not moving forward, you're not moving backwards, you're not moving up, you're not moving down, you're suspended in mid-air as the roller coaster comes around. And it's really important to remember that in this process of finishing the finishing is we don't now go and make massive bold steps, because we're not yet in the new cycle. We've reached a state of completion, a state of order. We've been working hard to create order out of chaos. And here we are suspended in this liminal liquid, not yet in the new space. Okay. So what this means is this week our focus is on focusing on recognizing that we are finishing the finishing and that we make small little tweaks in this liminal space as opposed to massive big shoves. We don't force a process now. We just suspend and just be peaceful with that suspension in the liquid just for a moment. As you can see, we have 3 changing lines in the 3rd, 4th and 5th position. Now I want to share with you the 3rd and the 4th lines. If you go and look at the episode on June, I talked about the 2nd and the 5th lines. The 3rd and the 4th lines are often called transition lines. You're now at the end of the first trigram at the bottom, that's position 3, and position 4 is just on the other side of this chasm between the two. So very often 3 and 4 are tricky because we're crossing this chasm, across from the bottom, from our inner to our outer, as we are transforming through the hexagram. So changing line in the 3rd position says what we have to understand is that this completion, or the finishing of the finishing, is part of a bigger picture. We have to understand that there's a longer term process. We're undertaking something important. There's a longer term journey, and we must proceed and continue to commit to the bigger picture we're here to do. So there's a sense here that as much as we might be finishing the finishing, and this is my interpretation, what we're being reminded of is whatever we're finishing now, this week, is part of a bigger enterprise, a bigger picture we're trying to create. And just remember that. Position 4, we've now crossed the Rubicon, as it were, across, and we've crossed the threshold, as it was, from the inner to the outer. Line 4 says, we're just past the middle of the river. Oh, just be careful, be vigilant, because this is the area where it's a little bit uncertain. So as we head towards the middle of the week, just be vigilant around your principles, your language, how you say things, what you just be precise and conscious and aware. So it's just a little bit of challenge as we finish the finish, right? And then the changing line in the 5th position says there is an ending, there is a completion, there's success in the crossing we have made. We've now crossed this dangerous middle position in the middle of the river. And a long battle has been won, and we're relieved, and there's celebration. So you have to remember that as you go about the next phase of your journey, make sure you keep the right people with you. Don't tolerate the hangers-on. Make sure your core team is right, that you're on the right path with the right people, and just recognize the huge blessings that have come through this big effort and this enterprise in the crossing. So you're going to find things end, things culminate, solutions come. Maybe something you've been waiting for a very long time and working at. This week has the opportunity to close that. Bring it in, and the circle closes off. So lots of changing lines. 3, quite a lot of action. Our outcome hexagram for this week is 51 shock. Ta-da! Okay, so it's back. So we had this last week. It's not yet complete. There's more shake-ups, there's more movement, there's more energy to shake us up. And I think what this means for me is that in this completion process, once we hit that 5th line where we've reached the completion, we're celebrating this big victory of a long period of time, there's a sudden movement of energy. Because Hexagram 51, as much as it is about shock and unexpected things and thunderbolts and lightning and all this energy that comes with this shake-up energy that this hexagram brings, it's also about stepping into the energy, stepping into change, tackling things. This is great energy for startups, great energy for new projects, because it's rousing and it's throwing everything up and it's shaking everything up and it's turning everything upside down. So there's an opportunity that as we complete, quicker than we realize, the opportunity to move presents itself. And as always, especially given this month of massive revolution of power and energy, be aware of where might the opportunities to shake up your world, shake up your business, and take on the opportunity to leap forward and have whatever's stuck, whatever's old, whatever's outdated, that beautiful thunderstorm comes and clears out all the old. Beautiful smell after the rains, after a thunderstorm. Everything's clean and fresh. The air has been cleared. Old stuck things are gone. Clear. Fantastic. So this week, lots of energy, lots of interesting processes around completion. Be cautious as you finish this process. Just be mindful of that. These 3 changing lines to guide us. And then boom, as we head out the rest of the week, there's this energy to shake us up and get moving. Right, so enjoy that. Go and watch the monthly overview if you have not yet done so. And of course, there's the special episode for our birthday special on the new normal, which is extremely useful. Right, thank you so much. Have a great week and enjoy the completion of all your hard work this week. See you soon.